Listening to the Morning Punchin' Show with RB and Jae, live and direct from more cities than an Instagram model's bio. Get ready for some boxing talk on the clock. Let's face it, you're not working and somebody's got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Good morning, everybody. It's RB and Jae. This is Morning Punchin' Show, the most unpredictable, honest, and authentic morning boxing talk show in the game. Today is Monday, August 1st, 2016. Our special guest on the hotline bling will be Tevin Farmer, fresh off of his win Saturday night. Let me introduce my PIC, my partner in crime, creator and founder of badculture.net, Jae. Hey, Jae, what's poppin'?
Good morning, RB, and good morning, everybody. Looking forward to another exciting week. Looking forward to talking to our guest today, and happy to be back with all of you. I didn't get to tweet with you guys live Saturday night because duty called, but I'm happy to be back now.
We missed you Saturday night. I had so many people looking for you. Where's Jae? Where's your partner? You know, we definitely missed your energy on Twitter for sure. And talking about the energy, wow, this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, there was some explosive fights. One night, Friday and Saturday night. This weekend, there's a bunch of fights to look forward to as well. The return of Andre Ward. We'll get into that in a little bit. So we're going to break down this past weekend fight, and then we are going to talk to Tevin Farmer, and then we are going to hit you with some, in case you missed it, highlights from last week, just in case you missed some things that were flying under the radar. And then we got some juicy word on the curve, and we'll go over this weekend's fight schedule. And then I think we'll wrap on up after that. You ready?
We are ready, and let's hit it.
All right, let's start off Friday night. Let's go to Quebec City, Canada, on Spike TV. Adonis Stevenson scored the knockout over Thomas Top Dog Williams. It was a firefight. Both men were hurt in an exciting third round. Stevenson eventually landed the deciding blow of the night when he caught Williams, and he was just unable to recover in the fourth round. I really still like Thomas Williams. I feel like he makes some good TV fights. You know, after the fight, Jae, he made me laugh. He tweeted and he was like, you know, I rumbled, I lost, fuck it. And I was like, yes.
Right. I like Thomas Williams. I completely agree with you. He makes for a great fight. He's still a formidable guy. Look what he did to Edwin Rodriguez, and if we look at just what's going on in the light heavyweight division, he definitely can hang and bang with a number of people at that weight class. I want to see him back on TV. He's a really cool guy. He just that wasn't his night Friday night. So Adonis Stevens comes through with the monster KO. Oh, it was ugly, but that third round was exciting. Thomas Williams really fought his way back after going down in that first round. So definitely someone we want to see back on TV the sooner than the later.
Whether you love or hate Adonis Stevenson, you know, he does some crafty things in there, and he is very, very powerful. He doesn't have to be your favorite fighter, but you don't discredit him either, because Thomas Williams was a live dog in there, and he was actually hurting Adonis in the third round.
He sure was. He really recovered well. He was throwing some blows in there, and it was really good to see him competitive out there.
Yeah, you know the old saying is no risk, no reward, and Thomas Williams definitely took the risk, and the reward is that he built his heart, fought with so much will, and people are going to want to see him back on TV because he does make for fun fights, and he wasn't bitter, he didn't make excuses whatsoever, so, you know, there you great, it works. You know, it doesn't matter that, you know, you have a blemish on your record, that you're not undefeated. So shout out to Top Dog. We'll have to come back on today. You got that pick right. I think you actually picked Adonis by KO.
Yes. I make it no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of Adonis Stevenson. And I thought that Thomas Williams would come in there ready to fight because he has that dog in him. But Adonis has that killer left that you don't see coming. It's real tricky, and he launched it and timed it just right and laid Top Dog out. Wow, what a KO. Definitely on the list of Knockout of the Year candidates.
Hell yeah. So let's move to Saturday night. Let's go to Brooklyn on Showtime. Before we even break down the fights, there was a hilarious segment, Jae, and I know you missed it because you weren't around, but they interviewed Barry Russell Jr. on Showtime, and whatever he was on, I want him to stay on whatever he was on. This guy said he's starting his own promotion company. you don't watch boxing. And I'm like, well, Dag, should we watch you then? You
Right.
know, like you telling
Right.
us you watch boxing. Why should we watch you? The most interesting thing he said, which made me giggle, was anyone who follows boxing knows who Gary Russell Jr. is.
I wouldn't
I'm
go that
thinking,
far.
bro,
He was on that good. Maybe he was on that TBD, TBA, because how many times have we seen him in a fight until recent years, not knowing who he was going to fight? But, hey, maybe Gary Russell feeling himself is a good thing. I mean, this is the man whose brother fights in Jays. So, you know, if your brother can fight in Jays and you think that everybody in the boxing world knows who you are, who casual fans, non-casual fans, whatever, more power to you. I guess a hype Gary Russell Jr. is better than a lackadaisical one. So, welcome back, Gary Russell, I guess.
Yeah, you know, it was so funny that actually Twitter kind of blew up a little bit. Like, they were like, yo, like, that Saturday was cool. He was actually, like, talking. He was kind of getting real smart with Selby. It was really funny. So, anyway, let's get into the fights, though, Saturday night. Santa Cruz versus Carl Frampton. Possible fight of the year candidate. Carl Frampton moved up to 126 to fight Santa Cruz. Became the first native of Northern Ireland to become a two-division world champ Saturday night. Frampton got the majority decision. The scores were a little sketchy, but they got it right. There was like a 117, 111 card that was super wide.
Cray. Way too long.
Get it right.
They definitely got it right. That was a great fight. We're going to talk about the merits of the fight. Very competitive, but Carl Frampton was the better man that night.
Yeah, you know, it was a high-octane output from round one. There was boxing. There was brawling. There was vicious power punching. It was an incredible fight. Anybody hating on the fight is just a straight hater. But anyway, Carl Frampton's counter punching, wow, it was fantastic. He has really great footwork and movement. And these are fights that make us really love boxing. When you get prime versus prime and you get a great crowd and there's drama and there's excitement, that's what we want, Jay. Isn't that like the simple recipe?
That's exactly what the fans want. That's what we want as people who work within the industry. Look at the success that we got with Thurman versus Porter. Now we have another prime matchup of Frampton versus Santa Cruz. This is what people want. This is what PBC wasn't doing before, and it's just a beautiful thing to behold. Let's keep this momentum going.
There are so many incredible fights that Heyman and company can make with prime versus prime. And hopefully we start seeing more of them. We saw Thurman Porter. Now we got Leo Santa Cruz. Frampton, whoever made this fight, whoever's idea it was, like I'm not sure who the matchmaker was, whether it was John Beninati or Lou Bella, whoever it was, kudos. You're up for Matchmaker of the Year with the RB and Jae show at the end of the year. But listen, Frampton is my front runner for Fighter of the Year. He unified, beat Quigg, then moved up to 126 to fight Leo, and now he's the world champ in two divisions. He's my leader for Fighter of the Year so far, Jay.
Frampton is that man. He is beating top level competition at their prime. No one's going to say, oh, Quigg was kind of worn. Oh, Santa Cruz was kind of worn. He's that guy. On the flip side, Santa Cruz taking his first L, I'm okay with this loss from Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
So many times he's been criticized for his level of opposition. Sometimes you need to take a fade to bring you up to that next level. And he really didn't get faded. He got outworked, but he didn't get knocked out or anything like that. So this might be a great thing for Leo Santa Cruz because now we see a little vulnerability and it gives him something to work on. When you fight better competition, if you keep beating bums, that doesn't make you any better. But if you take that L from somebody who's superior, when you come back, whoever fights Leo Santa Cruz next, I feel sorry for him because he's going to be a killer.
Leo, not to make any excuses, but I feel like he was also dealing with a lot outside of the ring for this camp with his father being diagnosed with cancer and going through chemotherapy. And that takes a toll on a fighter. Boxing's like 90% mental. We say it all the time. But you know what? He put up a hell of a fight. He bit down on his mouthpiece. There was a mouthpiece. There was a couple times where Frampton had him hurt and stumbling a little bit. And Leo, man, he showed he is a real thug. And I won't ever, question his abilities again because he showed us a little bit of everything. He was boxing. He was brawling. So I'm okay with that. Now, Carl Frampton's says that he won't fight Rigondeaux next because Rigondeaux brings no money to the table. I'm not surprised. Leo Santa Cruz, he wants a rematch and he wants it in LA. I don't blame him. This is the most moronic thing that I found out today, though, is that there was no rematch clause. And I'm like, Leo,
wow.
Who was working for you? Why did you not have a rematch clause?
Right. And you're the ace. That's just wild. I can't believe that. I absolutely can't believe that. Was it an administrative mistake, or was he that confident and he underestimated who he was fighting? Either way, that's just stupid. I'm sorry, that's just stupid. You can have all the belief in your ability. Hell, Floyd has rematch clauses in all the fights he fights, and we know how those turn out. So just the fact that went overlooked, somebody needs to get suspended from work. I don't know. Somebody
Real shit. Well, anyway, lots of action, lots of drama. It was great Saturday night. Great night of boxing. Great night on Twitter as well. It seems like the fans won just as much as Carl Frampton won. So anyway, let's move on.
Wait, before we move on to Mikey Garcia, you know who else won? Shannon Briggs' crazy ass. Have you seen this video of Shannon Briggs getting swarmed by the Irish fans outside the arena? So apparently they have adopted Shannon Briggs as well. So he won on Saturday night too.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to check that out. All right, in the co-feature Saturday night, Mikey Garcia versus Elio Rojas. Mikey Garcia stamped his return with a knockout over Elio Rojas. He looked strong at 140, but I also felt like he looked a little heavier and slower. He definitely showed some ring rust in the first, 2-3 rounds. A lot of people actually had Mikey down in the first 2 rounds and gave Elio Rojas those. He was much more aggressive. A very aggressive Mikey Garcia. I'm used to seeing the jab, and I didn't really see that as much. And I'm like, wow, did Top Rank keep Mikey's jab in the settlement? Because that wasn't there. It just was not there.
That was a good one, RB. Yeah.
Top Rank, Mikey's jab. So anyway, he definitely had some ring rust to dust off, but he did. After the fight, my entire Twitter TL was screaming for Garcia versus Crawford. I'm like, where did this come from? Everybody now wants to see Mikey fight Crawford. Now Mikey's a killer again.
All right. Because clearly Rojas has much in common with Terrence Crawford. Get the hell out of here. Y'all trying to sacrifice. Mikey just came back. You want him to stop fighting again? Come on, man.
World title fight soon. Anyway, we actually have some word on the curb later in the show regarding Mikey Garcia and what's next for him. You listeners, hang on, listen. Word on the curb will be up shortly, so hang on for that. Let's go to the Show Extreme undercard, Jay. Opened up with who opened up? Oh, it was Tevin Farmer, but let's wait because we got Tevin Farmer on Hotline Bling. Let's start off with Tony Harrison. He secured the IBF number 2 position with a 9th round TKO over Robchenko. Is that his name? Robchenko.
Good job for him. Good position to be in.
Yeah, good job for him. He didn't look great. He didn't look bad. I feel like Tony Harrison is just like an okay fighter. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he sucks. I don't know what his feeling is. But after the fight, he called out the winner of Charlo Julian Williams. So apparently that's what he wants next. But there's really not much more to say about that fight. Paulie Malignaggi won a 10-round unanimous decision over fellow Brooklyn fighter Gabriel Bracero in the Battle of Brooklyn. So Bracero, if you don't know, Bracero is facing some serious charges in court, and he's got a date coming up. I don't know if you remember, but back in February, he was arrested. He was pulled over. They found weed in the car, punched an NYPD sergeant. It was crazy. So that's what's next for Bracero. As for Paulie, he wants to take a vacation, and he wants to consider, what's next for his career. So that's
Paulie can't take no vacation. He got to get back to work at Showtime. He ain't taking no damn vacation. Maybe one from the ring, but he probably got to be at work on Monday.
Before we bring Tevin Farmer on the Hotline Bling, in the opening bout on Show Extreme, Philly's Tevin Farmer won an impressive 10-round unanimous decision over Ivan Redkach. Farmer was definitely the most effective, slicker, smarter fighter The kid started from nothing. You know how Broner says water and cornflakes? That is Farmer, and look at him today. So with that being said, on the Hotline Bling, let's bring on Kevin Farmer.
Yo.
Our man Kevin, what's good?
Hey.
Great fight Saturday night.
Thank you so much.
How you feeling? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. You know, I ain't got no lumps or no cut mouth or no busted lips or nothing, so I feel good.
You were definitely in complete control of that fight. You look so good. You were just moving so effortlessly. I think people know who Tevin Farmer is now, and I think that was the opportunity that you wanted.
Yes, it definitely was.
Right.
That's the reason why I moved up to that weight class, just to show the world that I can compete with anybody in the world. I moved up to 135. I'm really 130-pound fighter, but I moved up to 35 just to show people that I can compete with anybody.
So are you going to go back to 130 where you belong, or you think you'll campaign at 135?
No, I'm gonna stay at 130. I'm gonna go back down to 130. You know, after I rehydrate, I'm only coming back up to about 142, 143. Yesterday, Ivan Redkach, he came back up to about 160. So I'm damn near fighting the middleweight. So I think I'm gonna go back down to make the smart decision and go back down to the weight I'm supposed to be at. And when at the right time, I'll move up to 35. I don't want to rush it. I want everything to come when it's supposed to be.
All right, so I have to ask you, you really did manhandle him. You controlled the fight. I actually did think it was going to be a tougher fight. I thought the guy was going to be a lot bigger than you. I thought we were going to see more of a banger, and instead you just boxed his ears off. So kudos to you. But I wanted to ask you, after the fight, you seemed so mad. I don't know who you were mad at. You wanted to attack like Leo Cruz's dad. You wanted to attack somebody, and they were like, "No, Tevin, chill." And you were like, "No, I'm not going to chill." What got you so mad and heated? What were you trying to do?
Because for one, Louis is telling me to be nice, and I feel as though I've been disrespected and never got my credit for so long, and I came out and did what I was supposed to do, and I think I had a right to state my opinion, and he was just telling me to be nice, and I feel as though I didn't want to be nice at the time, and also Ivan Redkach's trainer, which is Leo Cruz's trainer, I think his brother or his father. He also say that we'll take Tevin Farmer. He is overrated, and I beat the hell out of Ivan Redkach. And I just say, if I'm so overrated, put your son in there with me, or put your brother in there with me, and see how much overrated I am. And that's the only thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, well, that's with the territory. When you're under attack, you're on the right track, right?
Yes.
Kevin, we know that you're real active on Twitter. We like to talk to you a lot on Twitter. And you have to have seen your opponent was going back and forth with Hank Lundy over the last couple of weeks. Were you holding all of Philly down, even for Hank Lundy, when you went and dished out that fade to Ivan Redkach in the fight?
I was. I was already mad at him I just thought he'd been disrespectful. But then when I seen that he did that to Hank Lundy, it made me even more madder. So when I went in there, I just went in there with a different approach. And I wanted to go for the opening bell. I think I could have stopped him if I went for the opening bell and got on the inside. But my trainer said, no, we're going to fix our game plan. And that was to get him frustrated, box him, get him frustrated. And then once my trainer said, go get him, which means when you see him like slowing down, then you pick up, because I don't get tired, and every round I pick up. I get stronger every round. And when he seen that he was slowing down, he told me to pick it up, and I just started working on the inside. And I think I could have stopped him, but the referee would not let us work inside. Every time he got on the inside, the referee stopped it. I didn't think it was right, but he's still the referee, so I listened to him.
Do you feel like since he spent so much time focusing on Hank Lundy and all that chatter back and forth, that he was underestimating you before the fight?
I think he was. Ben's only at 5 knockouts. And, my 5 knockouts don't come from my power, which he's because he felt my power. It comes from lack of experience. And I can't punch. I showed yesterday that I can bang, I can box, I can do whatever. But the lack of experience I had coming into the boxing game, when I hurt guys, I hurt all my opponents. I just never, I hurt all my opponents. I never had the experience to stop them. I didn't know how to stop them, but now I'm gaining that experience, know how to go hard and how to stop these guys. And now he was 160 pounds yesterday, so I think that helped him up a little bit. But when I dropped down to 130, I think a lot of them guys going to go night.
I'm sorry, you said he came in at 160 fight night?
Yesterday he was about 160. He came in. The night after the weigh-in, about 2-3 hours later, he was already weighing 155.
Dang.
Yeah, I was only weighing the night of the fight. I came in about 142. You know what I'm saying? But I know skill and will beat anything. So weight never an issue for me, but to some people it may be.
So now you said you have gained that experience that's helped you and better prepared you. What do you think was the difference? What changed that helped you gain that experience?
You know, I have good trainers. We get the right sparring. And my mindset, I'm mentally strong. I've always been mentally strong. I was never a weak guy. Even when I played football, basketball, I played a lot of sports, and I always was the best on my team. With boxing, it was just me finding the right team. I really didn't know how boxing worked. Once I found out how boxing worked, I took full advantage of it. And now I'm here today. And I don't think nobody can beat me. I don't care who it is.
I'm glad that we brought up your team. I want to talk about your team a little bit. You are trained by Chino Rivas, who, in my eyes, is one of the most underrated Philly/Jersey boxing trainers out there on the East Coast. He has done wonders with you and Jason Sosa. You guys are on the rise. I mean, he's doing an incredible job with you guys. I mean, when you think about it, neither one of you guys started out with big promoters. And look at you guys now, fighting on big stages and winning big fights. So shout out to Chino. But I want to talk about your team currently. You've been on our show a couple times, and we've talked about how hard it's been for you, to get on TV, to get big fights. And I would say to you, Tevin, well, what's good with your team? Who you working with? And, because it's so political. And I think you figured that out. So word in the street, not word on the curb, but word in the street is that Saturday night was actually your audition to sign with Al Heyman. So because you won, are you now going to sign with Al Heyman? Did he give the okay? What's good?
Well, for one, I want to say it's Chino and Rasheem Jefferson. They both play. Yes. They both play a major part in me and Jason Sosa's career, and they both bring different things to the table. Rasheem bring one thing, Chino bring another thing, and both of them are great. And I don't think we both can be where we at without one or the other. As far as what you said about Al Heyman, I think that was the audition, and I think I put on a good show. And we know word on the curve was Al Heyman say, "Damn, we need this kid back."
Ooh.
That's all I know
right.
so far. That's all I know so far. I don't know nothing else.
Cool. Okay, so you don't have any idea when we could see you back, whether it'll be 3 months, 4. I mean, it's not going to be too long.
Nah, it's definitely not gonna be long. It definitely be no later than probably November. No later than November. I'm gonna stay on the top as much as possible. I want to be back in the ring. I had an 8-month layoff before my March 30th show, and I feel horrible. I feel like crap my March 30th show. But I pulled the victory out. I came back July 30th and showed that I was elite. But if it was up to me, March 30th, I felt horrible. I didn't feel like nothing. Being dogs off 8 months, I never want to do that again.
Staying active is so crucial because look, you fought this guy who was a better guy than your guy in March, and you looked 10 times better, and it's because you were active. So definitely for sure. Me and Jay were talking about you earlier, and we were talking about maybe we'd love to see a Pedraza rematch. And you guys are both with Lou DiBella. If you sign with him, it should be an easy fight to make, right?
I think Pedraza moving up to 135. So well, right now we might try to get the IBF world title or fight for Eliminator, or try to get Francisco Vargas for the WBC.
All right, sounds good.
That's the plan right now.
All right. Well, listen, best of luck. You looked great Saturday night. Thank you for calling in on the Hotline Bling. Make sure you keep us posted on what's good, and if you need us to share any news, you know where to hit it up, Kevin.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and thank y'all.
All right, have a good day. We'll talk soon.
All right, y'all.
Take care.
The Caribe Hilton Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico will host the 29th WBO convention October 17th through October 21st. The World Boxing Organization is a sanctioning organization currently recognizing professional boxing world champions such as Sergey the Crusher Kovalev, Gilberto El Zurdo Ramirez, Terrence Bud Crawford, Jesse La Nueva Generación Vargas, Roman Rocky Martinez. Registration forms and advertising opportunities are on our website at WBOboxing.com. The WBO also has a mission that extends beyond the ring, so help join the WBO on this fight, and for more information on the WBO convention in Puerto Rico and the Kids Drug Free program, visit WBOboxing.com.
All right. Me and Jeff are going to the WBO convention this year.
Damn right.
Shoot.
Damn right.
Shoot.
Boricua, stand up.
We need to get to update that because they still got Rocky Martinez on there, and we know Lomachenko spanked him in New York a couple months ago. Anyway, let's finish the weekend fight recap. Let's go back to Saturday, Indio, California. There was an HBO Latino card. Antonio Orozco and Jojo Diaz maintained their undefeated records. I am going to be 100% honest with you listeners. I did not watch this card. By the time I turned on Orozco versus Lopez, it was towards the end of the fight. So I caught the very end. The crowd was not happy with the decision. I don't know either way if it was right, if it was wrong, if it was a robbery, because I just didn't watch it. Now, what I did see in the last, 3 rounds was that it was a slugfest. Abner Lopez feels that he won the fight, but he didn't. So Antonio Orozco remains undefeated. Jay, did you happen to catch any of those on HBO Latino?
I have not caught any of those cards, but I have read some articles today, and what I find to be very funny is the articles that I have seen, Jojo Diaz is in the main display picture instead of Antonio Orozco. I know that Jojo Diaz is the bigger name on the card, but at the same time, he didn't headline the card. So that's what I've been seeing out there. And from what I've been seeing on Twitter, from the people that I like to follow, Orozco did not look like he was ready to take that step and be that dude over at Golden Boy.
Jojo, I heard, made very easy work of his opposition, which we kind of figured that would be the case. But I did want to add a little note in here. LA fan favorite Nick Arce lost to a Phoenix fighter named Jesus Aguinaga. We call him Chewy out here.
Nick Arce lost? Get the hell out of here. Did he really? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
The fight went the distance. I have seen Aguinaga fight times in Arizona. He is always in tough fights. He is always fighting tough guys. He always is traveling on the road and going into other fighters' backyards. I mean, his whole entire career it's been this way. So good for him. Phoenix, stand up. I mean, I know everybody loves Nick Arce, but he didn't get the decision, and Aguinaga won unanimously.
Wow, that's very surprising. I got to go back and watch this card.
Yeah. So let's move on to a segment that we call In Case You Missed It. So last week there were some headlines and stories, things out there that may have flew under your radar. So we just want to bring you up to speed. And let's start off with Demetrius Andrade. He is going to return in October and most likely on Showtime. Now, big name that's being kicked around for Demetrius Andrade is Jack Colque. But here's the thing. I also heard that Islam Lara is coming back in October too, and he wants to fight Andrade. I don't expect that to happen in October. I expect a okay fight, but that's the update with Demetrius Andrade.
Also, and in case you missed it, news, Ruslan Provodnikov met with his promoter, and a return is anticipated. As you know, Ruslan made the jump from HBO over to Showtime and kicked off his new Showtime career against John Molina, who defeated him, much to Showtime's dismay, I'm sure. So who they could possibly match Ruslan? There's a lot of opportunity over there. It looks like Banner might be amenable to doing some shows. There's a lot of Heyman guys that fight on the Showtime network. So what's next for him? Hopefully an easy touch, because the Siberian Rocky have had a tough road. Who would you like to see Ruslan against RB in the 140s?
Well, I kind of thought it would be like Broner. You know, Broner's a big puncher. You know, he's not the most powerful dude. But they're saying that Broner might actually, Robert Guerrero, if he wins this next fight, they're saying there could be a potential showdown with Broner. So I guess that's out the question. I don't know. Maybe Sean Porter should try to fight him. I don't even think they're the same weight class. You know what? I don't even know, Jay, because I was never a huge Ruslan fan anyway. I know he does ratings, but HBO let him walk away for a reason. Showtime picked him up. He fights John Molina. Everybody thought Molina was shot, and Molina absolutely outfought him. So I don't know at this point who Ruslan could be. Don't know. But anyway, move on. Amir Khan. This boy, he loves to stay relevant in the media. This boy is out there talking about all he needs is 6 months of MMA training to fight McGregor. He also stated last week that Bob Arum is bitter and scared to let him fight Pacquiao. What the hell is wrong with him?
Get the hell out
He's trolling. He's got to be. There's no way that he's that remedial, Jay.
He might. He just might be. You never know. This is the same guy who announces his fights on his wife's makeup channel. So he just might be that remedial. Somebody is in his ear. And I don't know if he's more remedial or the person in his ear is more remedial. Either way, Amir Khan, shut the hell up. Shut up. God. Get out of here. You just got knocked out. You got knocked out in the sport you fight at, going up in weight. Now you want to abandon the sport that you do know something about to fight in a sport you don't know about.
What I will say is, if he does go to the UFC and does MMA, we know that his groundwork is spectacular. He finds himself on the floor a lot, so maybe he will do well there.
He just might. That's a good. RB, you on fire this morning. You on fire. Moving on, Jacobs versus Mora 2, Easter versus Kami set for September 9th in Reading, Pennsylvania. RB, you are a Pennsylvania native, Philly to be exact. I know Reading is outside of Philly. Is this a good fight for Philly? Jacobs versus Mora, we know Mora, rolled his ankle or something in the first fight, so they're rematching it after Jacobs just swore he would never give Mora a rematch. Robert Easter, I think I like that fight quite a bit more than I like Jacobs Mora too. Is this a good fight for Reading? Is Brooklyn and LA going to head out to Reading, Pennsylvania for this fight on September 9th?
Listen, Danny Jacobs fought Peter Quillen in December of 2015. His big comeback is a rematch with Mora in Reading, Pennsylvania. There's nothing in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours outside of Phoenix. They have some really good outlets there, some stores, and they got like the Reading Terminal. They have like really good food. I think the Amish people have some set there where they, make some fresh food. There is nothing in Reading. But you know who is from Reading, and I think they put him on the card, is Kermit Cintron. This boy has been the most active in boxing this year. I think he's already going on his 4th or 5th fight. I don't know what the big plan is for Kermit Cintron, but he will be on that card as well. I do love the Easter Conley fight. That's going to be a good fight. But again, it's in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Only thing I knew about Reading was Monopoly. And all these years until I met you, I thought it was Reading. I have played Monopoly, B&O. I thought it was Reading Railroad. I want to buy Reading Railroad for $200. That's all I knew about it. Now I know it's Reading, and I know the Amish people are out there, and there's some outlet stores and some good food. Thanks, RB. You got all the good tea.
You're welcome. In case you missed it, the WBO has ordered Flanagan versus Felix Verdejo. And I'm being told that Top Rank likes this fight, Jay.
Do they?
Right?
I guess.
Now, Mikey Garcia, Saturday night, he did some interviews with the media, and he was popping up and saying Flanagan's name too. So that'll be interesting to see, who they go after, if Top Rank really wants to go ahead and make this mandatory fight. I think it's a good fight for Verdejo. Everybody's been wanting him to step up. I think it's a great step-up fight for him.
Hey, Felix Verdejo looked better in his last fight. You were there for that fight. So he looked better in his last fight than he had in his previous bout. So another opportunity for Felix Verdejo to get his weight on. Also, in case you missed it, Dusty Harrison versus Thomas Cornflake Lamano on September 16th in Atlantic City. This boy, I swear, I think I get a press release about him like every week. Does he fight like about 6 times a month? This guy is always fighting. Now he's in a fight against Dusty Harrison. Step-up fight for him. You are familiar with Cornflake.
Well, he's from the Philly, Jersey area. What I will tell you about Cornflake is he was signed with Pelf Boxing for a while. That didn't work out. He asked to be released. Ralph was like, cool, I'm too old for this. Bye. And so Cornflake has kind of done his own thing the past year and a half. Started his own promotional company, and I think he got his family to invest in it. And they've been running small shows in Jersey, Atlantic City, just trying to, build his record back up. And this was all him. His people reached out to Rock Nation. He wanted to fight Dusty Harrison. And Rock Nation's like, bye. Like, I mean, okay. So Dusty, but Cornflake is really in charge of this whole event. So it is going to Atlantic City. I heard that there is no TV involved, but you might be able to catch it on GFL.com. Thanks, Rock Nation.
And as you know, Dusty Harrison fought life and death with Mike Dallas, who they dug up out of wherever the hell they found Mike Dallas at, who hadn't fought in like 3 years. Thomas might pick him up another W if Dusty Harris didn't learn anything from that fight against Mike Dallas, because if nothing else, Cornflake is active.
Yeah. So Miguel Cotto officially passes on Juan Manuel Marquez over a weight dispute. So Marquez won the fight, I think, at like 150, and Cotto was adamant that I guess it had to be at 154. So no fight. It's over. I don't think anybody cares. But I will say Miguel Cotto has been looking real husky on his Instagram. So I'm not surprised that he was like, nah, I ain't going down to 150. Anyway, that's last up in case you missed it. I am going to move on with Word on the Curb, and then we're going to wrap up with this weekend's popular fight schedule that's coming up. So Word on the Curb, y'all. Here we go. Look for Rosado versus Jeandra to be announced soon. And it is going to land on the Canelo card in Dallas at the Cowboy Stadium. So look out for that. And some more Word on the Curb. Here we go. Danny Garcia versus Andre Berto. So Danny Garcia was on Showtime the other night saying, I don't know nothing about this Andre Berto fight. I mean, I heard rumors. We've been kind of talking about it. It's been kicked around, but, I don't know when or where. And I was like, yeah, all right. So listen, Danny Garcia versus Berto. That fight was pretty much done when Berto beat Victor Ortiz a couple months ago. Word on the Curb is that DSG versus Berto is going to land in LA, most likely at the Staples Center, most likely promoted by Richard Schaefer, a.k.a. Ringstar Sports, and it's probably going to land in October. So look for about October 15th, around that time, for mid-October. So the big plan for DSG is, to fight Berto, and then early in 2017 to fight Keith Thurman. So a lot of crap going around a couple weeks ago that he turned down the big Manny Pacquiao fight for $4 million. And, Danny took his Instagram a couple days ago and was like, look, I was never offered that fight. I did not turn down $4 million. That was rumors, yada, yada, yada. So I reached out to my sources and I'm like, is he telling the truth? And they were like, yeah, actually, Heyman never brought DSG to the table. They have bigger plans. They're thinking about maybe doing a Showtime deal and doing that big Thurman fight next year. So you heard it here. Danny Garcia didn't turn down $4 million. He did turn down the Pacquiao fight. I guess that was just all rumors, and Danny shot it down, and my source confirmed it. So we could stop, belittling him now and acting like he turned down $4 million. So that's all I've got for Word on the Curb. Go into the weekend fight schedule. I think I lost you there. She's trying to get back on. We've been having technical difficulties this morning. So anyway, this week's fight weekend schedule, Friday on ESPN at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We have Dennis Douglas versus David Benavidez. David Benavidez is the brother of Jose Benavidez Jr., and really looking forward to that. He's a 68-pounder. They're moving him really, really quickly this year. He's been looking really good. He's slowly becoming a fan favorite. He's got a really good look to him. He's Mexican. He's bilingual. He's just got all these really great things going for him. Let's see. Friday on CBS Sports at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Rob Brandt versus Paul Valenzuela Jr. Don't know a whole lot about that fight, but I think Rob Brandt is the guy who had the spectacular knockout earlier this year. Jay, are you back?
I am back. I don't know. Satan, get behind me. My mic keeps cutting off. I won't talk about Mike Dallas anymore. Jeez.
I will pass the fight schedule back off to you.
All right. So we are back with the weekend fight schedule. RB just mentioned Rob Brandt versus Paul Valenzuela Jr. on CBS Sports at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday on HBO at 10:30 Eastern Time. Andre Ward, in the last fight before he could possibly face off against Sergey Kovalev, he will be fighting against Alexander Brand in Oaktown, of course. You can watch it on HBO. We don't anticipate Andre Ward having too much trouble dispatching of Alexander Brand, but this is the fight that could potentially set up the fight against Sergey Kovalev. We last saw Kovalev fighting over in Russia in front of his hometown for the first time against Isaac Chilemba, won pretty handily, and now we await to see what Andre Ward's going to do.
You know, a lot of people were upset with HBO. You know, why didn't you give us Crawford Postel for free, but you're giving us Ward and Brand on HBO, which totally makes sense. But here's the thing, is that Rock Nation is paying for the majority of this fight. They are paying for the majority of the purses, especially with Andre Ward's purses, which are pretty high. So HBO got this fight for really, really cheap anyway. So that is why. Just wanted to clear that up. I don't think Ward's going to have any problems this weekend.
Not at all. Not at all. And he still has a network deal with HBO, so he got to fight sometime on HBO. You can't have all the fights on BET. So there that is. Also on Saturday night on Unimas at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, Juan Diaz versus Cesar Vasquez on Unimas, RB.
Yes, so it is Tucson Fight Week out here in Arizona, and I've been very fortunate to have a part in this event. I'm really excited. I've got a bunch of Tucson kids on the card that are fighting Phoenix guys, and it's going to be insane. As of this morning, I think there's like only 20 tickets left. You know, this is Baby Bull coming to Tucson. You know, who expected a sellout? But the undercard is going to be terrific, and I'm glad that I was able to lend a hand and say, hey, you guys got to put these Tucson guys on because they could bang, they could fight. You know what I mean? They're always traveling and going on the road. They're always the B-side. And so the whole city is ecstatic. It's going to be so much fun in Tucson. I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, my girl is kind of humble, being on the humble here. RB worked her ass off on the coordination of this card. If you didn't see the press conference, she was addressing the press conference, running around, dealing with the fighters, dealing with all this magnificent high-level promotional materials you are seeing in connection with this fight. So, man, stand up and clap for my girl. Give RB a clap because my girl works her tail off, and it's wonderful to see all of your hard work come to fruition. They think that just because we're having a good time and they see us and we're happy, that we don't do any work. RB, you work your ass off, so kudos to you.
We hustle. We love it. We hustle, we grind, and this radio thing is a lot of fun for us, and we do put in a lot of time, a lot of hours, and then, you know, we have other things that we do too. I mean, we just don't do radio, so it has been a great learning experience too. I ran a show back in Tucson back in 2012 or 2013, and the city showed me a lot of love. They love boxing. I think it would be phenomenal for the city if Top Rank brought Oscar Valdez back there this year to defend his world title. So things are picking up out here in Arizona, and I'm just really fortunate to have a really small part in it and learning from some of the best in the industry, really.
Wonderful. And a great job, and sharing the wisdom, too, whether folks want to take it or not. You have been putting it out there, and that's all you can do.
Well, thank you so much for listening.
That is it.
I think that's it. I think we're going to close out this show this morning. We appreciate everyone for listening. Shout out to Tevin Farmer for calling in on the Hotline Bling. My amazing, beautiful co-host, Jay. Make sure you catch us every Monday morning right here from 8 to 9. It's the Morning Punch-In Show. Thank you for making us a part of your day. It's a wrap.